Okay, Assalamu alaikum all the students. So I had to record this lecture twice. After finishing the last lecture, I saw that mic was mute, so then I could not upload it and recorded it back for you guys because I know that you have that passion. You are quite enthusiastic and waiting for my lectures, especially regarding IoT and the devices attached to IoT. So here we go. We start as promised. We'll start with serial communication using ESP8266 and our Arduino. Okay, we know the last time we tested 80 commands, so we'll have to ensure beforehand when we start, we have to ensure two things. Number one, that all the ESP commands are working beforehand. Okay, so let me tell you, 80. All right. Okay, so I don't know, my communication is not happening, so I'll try again and we'll make sure that all the things that we learned so far are basically working before we start. Okay, so let me get started. So let me see. 80, okay, 80 plus RST, okay, 80 plus GMR, okay, so everything is working fine. All right. So number one, 80 is working fine, 80 commands are working fine. Number two, power supply is connected through the power regulator, which is LM1117 with 1 UF given to the output, as you guys already know. Number three, now you have to do some changes in order to make serial communication possible with ESP and Arduino. You know that we bypassed the Arduino at Mega chip last time, right? So that we can do serial communication with ESP8266 and Arduino board. But now we don't have to, we don't need to bypass, because what I want this ESP device to control all the IO pins, all the input and output pins, all the analog pins. So I need my Atmega chip and my processor to be up, working, fine, structured, right? So I don't have to break it, right? The last time we did it. And for that, what we do, take out the reset pin of your Arduino. No need to attach it to GND now. And now change, instead of RX and TX pins of the Arduino, which is pin 0 and pin 1, now use pin 2 and pin 3 of the Arduino, right? So I have written it here. Number one, you have to ensure 80 commands are working. And station, so I didn't show you the station last time. For example, if I run 80 plus CW lap, so you can see that 80 plus CW lap is certainly showing me error, right? Why is it happening? Because we haven't set the 80 mode yet. So I'll say 80 plus CW mode, question mark. So this question mark indicates I want to know the current 80 mode. So you can see it is 2, right? So 2 means access point and 1 means station, right? I have written it here. 1 means station, 2 means access point, and 3 means both. So now once you have declared your ESP as an access point, or you have made it as an access point means something that you get connected to. You don't need your access point to search for other devices, right? So there's no fun, right? So you can either do one thing. You can say 80 plus CW mode is equal to 1. You can make a station mode, right? And then run 80 plus CW lap to search for all the available networks, which in my case is already 1, and right? Or you can do 80 plus CW mode is equal to 3, which is you're acting both as an access point and as a station, right? So station and access point mode is enabled both, so it's 3 is both. So you can see 80 plus CW lap is equivalent to 3, and then 80 plus CW lap, and still it is going to work. So 80 plus CW lap is not going to work with the access point mode, so it is going to show you error if the CW mode is set to 2, right? So you can see 80 plus CW lap is showing error. Okay, by how we don't require it, so we'll have to ensure that RX pin of your ESP device, I repeat, RX pin of ESP, not RX pin of Arduino, RX pin of ESP is connected to the pin 3 of Arduino, and TX pin of ESP is connected to pin 2. So pin 2 is connected to the TX of Arduino, and 3 is connected to the RX of Arduino. So this is RX and TX, okay, right? So RX and TX going out from ESP should be connected to 2 and 3, which in our case, RX of the ESP to 3 and TX to 2. Now supply VCC to 3.3 volt output. PR output means power regulator output. GND to GND, right? And CHPD, okay, it's not CHPH, it is CHPD, right? You can say CHPD or EN, because you're using ESP01 device, it may have EN also, to also plus 3.3 volts of power regulator output. GPIO 0 has to be disconnected, because GPIO 0 is meant for only one thing, that is turning on the programming mode of ESP8266, right? So we don't have to program it. Why don't? Because we mean to, or our aim is to do serial communication between ESP8266 and our Arduino board, and for serial communications, programming mode has to be disabled. So reset is not required because we're not programming again, so that we can hit reset again and again to format it. And GPIO 0 disconnected, GPIO 2 disconnected as well. GPIO 2 is general purpose input output pin, because we are not using input and output from ESP8266, we are using it as that of Arduino. Now let us do an exercise testing ESP serial communication with Arduino. Now what we have done so far is we have to remove the reset of Arduino, and we have to set RX, we have to insert RX of the ESP to pin 3 of the Arduino and TX to pin 2. And when all these things are done, I'll show you how to do serial communication between Arduino and ESP8266. And to start with, we may require to use some libraries, right? So we'll say hash include statement. I'll say, what is this hash include? Hash include is using preprocessor directive. And we'll use a header file, that is software serial.h. Alright, and we'll declare software serial ESP. I'll call the function and pass 2 and 3, which is nothing but TX and RX. Alright, fine. So now we have while loop that will loop through. You guys know this. And we have wide setup. Now what is the aim? We should know beforehand, or before or prior to writing the program, that what our aim is. Our aim is to communicate or do serial communication between ESP and Arduino. That means whatever we want, we can talk from Arduino to ESP and from ESP to Arduino, right? And vice versa, right? So for that, what will I do? I will say serial.begin. So begin serial communication of 115200. You can see that my serial works on 115200. Right? Why? Because we have already formatted. If you know, the last time we flashed our we flashed our ESP8266 and selected the upload speed or the baud rate of 115200. And I'll say ESP.begin. Now this is for outgoing communication and this is for incoming communication. Now why do we require it? So whatever I write here, so this is my serial, right? The serial of Arduino, not the serial of ESP8266, right? So whatever I write here, right, has to go to ESP, and whatever ESP sends back has to go to my serial. So it's a two-way communication, that is RX and TX. So let us say this serial can act both as RX and TX, and this also can act both as RX and TX. Okay, let me see. I will say if serial dot available returns true. What do you mean by serial dot available? Whenever I click here, the serial is available. Alright, so whenever I open the serial is available. So I'll say char C is equivalent to serial dot read. So whatever I type here, right, will go to this char C. If you want to test it, so I'll say serial dot print. Serial dot print C, and by this way you'll be able to see whatever you type, you'll get it back. So it's simple, it does not require any rocket science or upload done. So I'll type 80, you get 80. So when I typed 80, 80 is stored in character C in loop. We know char can store only one because we are running a loop here. So then I say serial dot print C, and we are printing the same, right? So now what I do, I don't do serial dot print, I have to send it to ESP. So I'll say ESP dot print C. Now you can see whenever I say ESP dot print C, what is happening? ESP is going to take use of 2 and 3 pins to communicate with as that of ESP board, right? So I'll type anything on my serial monitor, it will go to C, and then we are sending and printing it directly using 2 and 3 pins, which is RX and TX. And where does RX and TX pins go? They go to the ESP board. So now we have been successfully able to communicate to ESP. What if ESP wants to talk to us back? Talking to ESP and ESP talking to us, right? So now I say whenever ESP is available, which is software serial 2 and 3 communications, do ESP.read, and instead of ESP, now print it out to my serial monitor. That's it. You talking to the ESP board and ESP talking back to you. That's as simple as anything. No rocket sciences are required. Alright. Okay, we're done uploading. So now if I say 80, I get OK. Now we know that we have not bypassed Arduino's ATmega chip. We have not done anything. We have not used RX and TX pin of Arduino. We have used simple 2 and 3 pins to act as serial communicators for us. And for that we have used software serial library. Now when I say 80, I write it here and I do the read. It goes to char C and goes back to ESP, and ESP gives me response that goes to this char C and is printed back to my serial, right? So it has no rocket science involved. I know that you're all waiting for to control those relay boards, or you want to control your home using Wi-Fi, right? As I promised, I'll be sharing videos about ESP being used as a web server, JSON communications using ESP, AJAX communication using ESP, and I promise I'll show you node communications using ESP, MQTT communications using ESP, using ESP with Amazon Web Services, using ESP with Raspberry perhaps, and using ESP with Google Firebase for MQTT communications, where we have to use service brokers, but we'll have to do a bit of tally, and we'll have to see the students who are capable of learning high-end logic. So because I cannot teach it to everyone, I need only students who have that passion, who show the passion, not the last comers. I require someone to respond first that I'm done, not the last one that I'll keep on waiting till 7, till 8. We know that the upload time of the class is 5, but I keep on waiting till 7. Why would I wait? Because I have someone who has not completed. Let's give them benefit of doubt because they're running a very slow internet connection, right? So that's why I keep on waiting and wait till very long to upload these videos. Berhal, so we should focus on what we have to do next now. The serial communication is going to happen now from my browser. So I'll do the same serial communication from browser. I'll tell my ESP device to control the entire Arduino board is what we are going to do next, right? So I already made a file of this, so I'll not share this file unless I complete the video, since I have promised to share video in 2 intervals. The first interval is ready and the second interval will come after this video. The only matter of the fact is, that I had to record this video again because of device muting and laptop muting. So I unmuted and recorded it back for you guys, right? So read, learn, practice, inshallah. I'll be sharing within few time. I'll be sharing it today only, inshallah. And by then, bye-bye.